It is Friday here at Le Mans. Welcome into our final video update of this year. We've got plenty to get to from a frantic couple of qualifying sessions yesterday, plus plenty of news to break down from today. We'll have John on camera with me to talk about the ACO and FIA announcement of the 2020 prototype regulations, as well as some BOP changes. We'll do that here in just a bit. But first, going back to qualifying last night, it was Kazuki Nakajima who set the pace. A really impressive lap time in his Toyota to lead a Toyota 1-2 for the overall pole. In LMP2, it looked like it was going to be TDS Racing that secured the top spot, but ultimately they were one of several teams that wound up being penalized for passing the scrutineering post after getting flagged in or saw the light to come in, skipped that, so unfortunately for them, lost their time in the pole, ended up going back to IDEX Sport. In GTE Pro, the number 91 Porsche factory entry secured the pole position, wrapping up what has been a very strong week so far for the Porsches. Speaking of strong Porsche performances, it was again Porsche at the top in GTEM with the number 88 Dempsey Proton entry taking the top spot there. A few other happenings of note from during the qualifying session. The major accident really of the week so far, the Villorba Corsa entry, that Dallara chassis heavily damaged in an accident in the first qualifying session that actually cut it short by about a half an hour. They added that 30 minutes onto the third qualifying session that wrapped up everything last night. The good news, though, is that car is undergoing repairs and they expect it should be ready for the warm-up session on Saturday. So the grid is set for the 2018 24 Hours of Le Mans, but still plenty to break down, and we'll do that here in just a second in terms of balance of performance, and then look ahead to the future of this great event with 2020 regulations for the prototype class announced earlier today. All right, so we've talked about the grid. We know how the cars will line up for the race, but how will they race? That's the big question, and a big wrench thrown into that with a late BOP adjustment, as we really expected, and good on the FIA, the ACO for adjusting to what they've seen so far through the week, but some pretty wholesale changes. What have we seen, John?
Yeah, some big changes here. We got the Aston Martin has the biggest break, I'd say a 10 kilo weight decrease, and they also got a 3 millibar increase in their turbo boost. It's in the range probably around 10 horsepower or so. So they've been struggling obviously throughout the week. This is their second turbo boost increase that car has received since the test day. BMW has lost 10 kilos, so they got a weight break. They were sort of petitioning for that at a little point earlier in the weekend. The Corvette's gotten a 5 kilo weight break. The biggest story might be Porsche. Dominated the whole session, 1-2 in qualifying. Extremely impressive from those cars. They have 10 kilos more than they did in qualifying, and the Ford's also been hit with a weight penalty of 8 kilos. Interesting times. This comes just at 5 o'clock before we were just about to leave the track, and the BOP change comes through and everything changes. Yeah, that's the way it goes, certainly. And for more information, all the details about the BOP changes, we've got all the information at Sportscrar365.com. All right, so that's the BOP. Now let's get to the big news of the day, really the big news of the week. We've been waiting for this for quite a while. The future direction for the top-level prototype class. Still don't have a name for it, but we do have a sense of direction where it's headed. So what did we learn today, John? Yeah, we had the ACO press conference this morning. They revealed details of the so-called hypercar regulations. Like you said, no name to it, but some further details. A lot of road relevance here. Wider cockpit area, a heavier car, some interesting aero. You can check out all the details on Sportscrar365.com. We have interviews with the ACO. We have interviews with the FIA, manufacturers. I know you spoke to Scott Atherton. He got some really valuable insight on that, on how this could maybe impact IMSA's potential adoption of the global regs. So all interesting stuff, and I think it's best to direct you guys there instead of us talking here for hours about these regs. Yeah, there's a lot to digest. We'll let you do it yourselves. Sportscar365.com for all of that information. And I'm sure you're looking for a preview of tomorrow's race. We'll be doing that on the podcast tonight. We'll be kind of going roundtable style, going through the classes, maybe even making a prediction or two. Always dangerous ahead of a 24-hour race, but we'll do our best with that. So hopefully you check that out, and then we'll be back with all the full coverage throughout the 24 hours and everything afterwards too, because there'll be plenty of stories in the aftermath as well. Hope you've enjoyed these videos. It's been a lot of fun putting them together. For John, Jake behind the camera, I'm Ryan. So long. We'll talk to you next time.